Ever wondered what happens when a time machine actually works? Get ready for a mind-bending journey. We're diving into our times, a movie about a brilliant scientist and her husband who create a time machine. Their goal? To live in the future. Our story kicks off in sunny Spain, 1966. Meet Nora, a university professor who's blowing her students' minds with her time travel theories. She believes that one day time machines will be as common as smartphones and technology will rule our lives. Nora isn't just talking, she's obsessed with building her own time machine. After her lecture, a student named Julia approaches her, eager to help. Julia shares Nora's dream of time travel, and Nora promises her a spot as her assistant. Nora heads back to her lab with Julia secretly following. There, Julia is stunned to find Nora's husband, Hector, already working on a real time machine. They're so close to finishing it, and a test run is just around the corner. Julia is blown away and desperately wants to join, but Nora says no. So, Julia hides and watches. Hector and Nora step into their incredible invention, ready to leap through time, but oops, their first attempt fails. The next day, Nora's sister Rebecca visits with exciting news. She's pregnant. Nora is thrilled and promises to visit Rebecca later that night. Later, Carrasco, the project manager, shows up. He's not exactly a fan of their work. Nora assures him the machine will be ready in a week, but he's convinced it's a total flop. Nora, annoyed by his negativity, vows to finish the machine even faster. That night after Carrasco leaves, Nora and Hector sneak into their lab, hidden deep in the university basement. Nora fine-tunes the time machine, and then, with Hector, she steps inside. They plan a quick 15-minute jump into the future, just a little test. Suddenly, the machine roars to life, spinning wildly. A few seconds later, it stops. Nora and Hector stumble out, dizzy and disoriented. To their shock, they're at a train station. They have no idea how they got there, especially since they only aimed for a 15-minute jump. They try to restart the machine, but it's broken. So, they decide to head back to the university for tools. As they walk, they notice something strange about the city. They pop into a supermarket to ask where they are, and then they see it, an employee with a phone. Hector gets a bad feeling. He grabs a newspaper and his jaw drops. The date, 2025. Just 5 minutes ago, they were in the 1960s. He quickly pulls Nora to the metro, amazed that it even exists in the city. He sees people glued to their phones, totally absorbed. He's frustrated, thinking people are wasting this amazing technology instead of using it for good. They reach the university, but it's completely changed. They sneak in, unnoticed, and head to their old lab in the basement, but it's gone. Suddenly, university guards appear, thinking they're thieves. Hector tries to explain they're doctors, but when the guards see their old IDs, they laugh. Hector, still confused, demands to see the university director. A short while later, the director arrives with her assistant. Nora is stunned. The director is none other than Julia, her former student, now an old woman. Nora is amazed by Julia's success, and then even more shocked to meet Alondra, Rebecca's granddaughter. Julia warmly welcomes them, overjoyed to see them after all these years. She explains that in 1966, Nora and Hector vanished, and everyone searched for them. Julia always believed they traveled to the future, even when others thought she was crazy. She spent years hoping to see them again. Despite the initial fear, Nora and Hector are thrilled their time travel experiment actually worked. They're the first in history, but now they need to get back to their own time. Everything in 2025 feels so strange, even their clothes and how people talk. Nora asks Julia to help fix the time machine, telling her it's at the train station. Julia promises to do her best, but asks them to stay with Alondra for now. Alondra is ecstatic to meet her great-aunt, especially seeing her so young. Alondra takes them home for the night. Nora meets her niece, who's actually older than her. Nora is so happy to be surrounded by family. She asks about Rebecca, missing her terribly. But her niece delivers heartbreaking news. Rebecca died years ago in an accident while searching for Nora. Nora is crushed, feeling responsible for her sister's death. She decides then and there to fix the machine and return to the past, to set everything right. The next day, Nora and Hector try on new clothes from 2025. They're amazed by the modern styles, even if they don't quite fit. At least they won't look so out of place. They head to the university to meet physics professors and tell them about their time machine. The professors are absolutely stunned, barely believing someone actually pulled it off. Nora and Hector are mesmerized by the technological advancements, especially the smartphone. They think it's pure genius. That night, Nora and Hector talk about all the incredible inventions they've seen. Nora loves the future, but Hector misses the past. He feels life in 2025 is too fast, with everyone buried in their phones, wasting time instead of living. The internet, he believes, has taken over people's lives. The next day, back at the university, they manage to get the time machine working again. But there's a problem. The internet is messing with the stellar gates, preventing them from traveling. They need special jamming devices to fix it. That night, Alondra takes them to a bar. Nora is fascinated by how different everything is, especially how much freedom women have now. They can work anywhere, anytime, and wear whatever they want. Hector, however, is still struggling to adapt, longing for his old life. The next day, Nora and Alondra go shopping at a mall. Later, Nora learns about International Women's Day, an annual celebration at the university. Even though their time travel is a secret, Julia asks Nora to speak at the event, to share her theories and show off her brilliance. Nora is excited but also nervous about Hector's reaction, especially since Julia wants her to go alone. Nora returns home, anxious, and tells Hector about the party. He's surprised she'd talk about time travel, given it's a secret. She reassures him she won't reveal their secret. He's clearly scared and wants to go with her, so she insists he comes along, even though she feels he's changed and is jealous of her newfound popularity. At the party, men and women are buzzing about time travel. Hector takes the stage, and to everyone's shock, he starts complaining about modern women, wishing they were more like women from the past. He doesn't say he's from the past, but he basically tells them to act like old-fashioned women. The women and feminists are furious, seeing him as outdated and narrow-minded, but some men in the audience cheer him on, agreeing with his views. Then, Nora takes the stage. As she speaks, Hector keeps interrupting, trying to make her say certain things. Annoyed, Nora tells him to leave her alone. He walks off, and Nora continues her speech. When she finishes, the crowd erupts in applause. She's thrilled by their appreciation. Julia encourages Nora to stay in the future, to use technology for new inventions, and offers her a job at the university. Nora says she'll think about it. She leaves torn. She doesn't want to leave Hector, but he'll never stay in the future. Nora talks to Alondra's mother, who also encourages her to stay. She believes Rebecca's death was fate, and Nora's return to the past won't change anything, but her presence in the future could benefit all humanity. Nora is deeply moved and considers staying, but she needs to convince Hector. She goes home and talks to him, only to find him upset. He thinks she's become selfish and that their love has faded. Despite their time machine's success, their relationship is crumbling. He even wishes the machine had failed to save their bond. When he hears she wants to stay in the future, he's furious and decides to return to the past alone, refusing to live in this bad era. The next day, they work on the machine again. Hector, with a desperate glint in his eye, manages to get it working. He tells Nora to get ready. The time gate is closing. It won't open for another 30 years. But Nora, she shocks him. She's decided not to go back. She tries to persuade him to stay, to live here, but he refuses. Upset, she leaves him. She goes to Julia and tells her she's staying. She'll take the university job. Then she meets Alondra and tells her what happened with Hector. Alondra is stunned by Nora's decision, telling her that love is stronger than anything, that if she were in her place, she would fight for her love. Nora is devastated, filled with guilt for abandoning Hector. She rushes back to him, hoping to reconcile. But he's gone. He traveled to the past, alone. On his desk, she finds a heartbreaking message. He tells her he loved her deeply, but she chose fame and success over their love. He bids her a final farewell. Nora collapses, having lost everything. She cries to Alondra, heartbroken, saying she doesn't know how she'll live without Hector for 30 years. Alondra comforts her, reminding her there's no other choice but to stay. Years pass. Nora becomes the most famous inventor of the modern era, achieving incredible success. But she never gives up hope of